at the rear of the 928, there's reverse sun visors. And he said, what were the engineers thinking? Like, I can't sit back here and use this visor. The visor was for the rear window. You flip it back so you don't burn your neck if you're in a 2+2 sunlight driving on a long trip. Like, well, my name is Steven Pigozzo. I started in the car business in 2000, actually, so 20 years ago. I left university and got a job at a BMW dealership, actually, and I started selling BMWs and was pretty good at it. Oh, great question. What didn't exist? Well, you know what? What doesn't exist now? Well, when I started in the car business, the internet wasn't really there. So that was a huge positive. But a thing that I'm glad is gone is probably pricing. Because when I started in the car business, you didn't necessarily have to put the price of your pre-owned car on the vehicle on the lot. So pricing was kind of open. And now, thanks to OMVIC, particularly in our province, we have to, as retailers, show the price of the vehicle with all of its extras, all of its options. So I would say the legislation that wasn't there before, that is there now, I think is really great for the consumer and great for the buyer and protects them quite well. One of the telltale signs is probably from the moment you walk in the door. One of my big things with car dealerships is when I walk in, and even before I walk in, am I greeted? And greetings tell me a lot about the store and the way they work. It usually tells me a lot about management, or particularly general management. If the general manager is a big process person and customer experience type of individual, you will feel that throughout the store. And I've been to stores where I park my car on a side lot, and as I'm walking up, someone in a smock, clearly someone who works in service of some kind, they'll just say, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Hi." Am I being too long in this? One of the things that the internet has done is it's made people pretty confident in what it is that they know that they want. But trust me, if you run into 3 or 4 different brands, I don't mean the same going to 4 different Cadillac locations to find one Cadillac. I mean, you're looking at a Cadillac, you're looking at an Audi, you're looking at whatever. You should go and look at competing vehicles, but multiple versions. I think we're very brand conscious as buyers nowadays, and I think it's shocking to me that according to most reports, customers buying a car, shopping for a car, when I sold cars 20 years ago, shopped about 5 different brands. Today, they go to less than 2. I shouldn't say brands, I should say stores. They actually go to locations. Nowadays, I'm sure people are shopping online, a lot of brands, but I think people don't realize how distinct each and every brand is. You go into one car, they could be the same price, but yeah, if you go from an Audi to a BMW to a Cadillac to whatever, they're all completely different. Deals are pretty easily had nowadays. You can go online and search pricing and give average prices and all that sort of stuff, but it still boggles my mind that I can set up a test drive from my cell phone, and people don't do that, and that kind of blows my mind. Well, actually, yeah. Oh, that's another good question. From the customer's point of view, though, I think definitely take it on routes that you're used to. Take it on drives that are the purpose for why you're buying that car. If you're buying a Camaro convertible, well, obviously a sunny day is a great time to go and drive that car with the top down. But if it's a minivan or a 4-door SUV, anything, and it's to take the kids to school and to drive around, then that's probably the drive that you should go on. And it should be a decent drive, get it in town, get it on the highway. Some seat time is really important, because I know for myself, I can be in a car in 5 minutes and I know that seat's not going to be very good for me on a long drive, and I'll kind of get a sore back. So comfort is a big thing, and spending time in a test drive I think is super important. People in the Z4. Yeah. Like, we didn't go down the street, we went up the street to the back roads, and most BMW drives went on a back road anyway, but certainly for that car, it's just like, let's put the top down and experience it. Yeah. When you're talking about a car dealership, I think a lot of people forget that car dealerships are really, at least many times, 3 businesses in one, and they all compete with one another and sell each other products. So the parts department sells stuff to the new car department and service department because they have to refurbish a pre-owned vehicle, and they get in line just like everybody else. And you're not going to get ahead of that customer's oil change to get that car fixed. And a lot of people don't know that about the industry. So the industry has really been helped by the internet, shipping, receiving, all that sort of timeline stuff where you can get things ordered. Again, like, you can get on your phone and order a test drive if you want to. I think that part of the tech of the industry is really exciting when used correctly, just like any tech in any vehicle. Sometimes tech gets annoying. I've had cars that have warned me with 7 or 8 different chimes by the time I've gotten down my block, and it's the dead of winter, and it keeps reminding me about snow and ice and how the roads are going to be slippery and inclement weather, and like I can clearly see that. So I think technology, as great as it is, it's all about the application of that technology. The general manager who hired me at that store, he started a software system for the car business, and I quickly learned that the car business, when it came to a dealership, as private owners, it was up to you to sell the vehicle, and so software was something that I got into because he developed a software that I started using, and then I started working for that company. So I went from selling cars for a number of years to actually implementing CRM tools, so data systems at stores where they would take your information as a customer, upload it into a database, write you a quote on a vehicle, but then from there, where that quote would then just flow into plain paper. Plain paper is kind of a big deal because back in the day, there were dot matrix printers and all kinds of other hardware. Well, now everything is online and everything is available via just a quick click of a button. A lot of times it's a want more than a need, and when we realize that as salespeople, I think we can be far more effective in our creativity when it comes to sales.
Amazing. That pretty much wraps it up, Steve.
Yeah, okay, good. I talk a lot for a living, so it comes out pretty quick.
And the funny thing is just the way that it's set up.